Thank you. Listen, I got a question. Why is the world's media here today? Like Nigel said, why are they here? Why the Financial Times of London, the BBC, NHK? You know why? Because tomorrow's going to decide who has sovereignty in the United States of America. Is it the elites in Washington, D.C. with their money, or is it the people in Alabama with their muscle? Mitch McConnell and this permanent political class is the most corrupt and incompetent group of individuals in this country. Let's have a serious discussion of what's going on here in Alabama. They've raised $30 million to Judge Moore's, what, 2 or 3? And they've spent $30 million. They did not come down here to Alabama to have a reasoned discussion with you, to have a debate with you, to have any kind of talk about the issues of immigration, the issues of trade, anything that's important today, America's commitments throughout the world. What they did is spend $30 million to destroy a man. Now, is that money going to work? No. They didn't have enough smarts to do it in a sophisticated manner. They took out 30-second TV spots. You know why? Because they think you're a pack of morons. They think you're nothing but rubes. They have no interest at all in what you have to say, what you have to think, or what you want to do.
That's right.
And tomorrow, you're going to get an opportunity to tell them what you think of the elites that run this country. Remember, these are the same people that have tried to destroy Donald J. Trump from the first day he announced for office. At $30 million versus 3, it's a spending of 10 to 1. And by the way, for Mitch McConnell and Ward Baker and Karl Rove and Stephen Law, all the instruments that try to destroy Judge Moore and his family, your day of reckoning is coming. But more important, for the donors who put up the money and the corporatists that put up the money, your day of reckoning is coming too. You got to remember something here, folks. This is a business model that works. The corporatist, donor, consultant, K Street, lobbyist, influence peddler, politician class. Washington, D.C., 7 of the 9 richest counties in the country surrounded. Since the first time of the discovery of the silicon chip, the per capita income in Washington, D.C. is higher than Silicon Valley. It's a business model that works, because every year they get to spend $4.2 trillion of your money.
Corruption. That's
going to be a burden on your kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. These folks are very good. They do one thing right. They know the price of everything, but the value of nothing. And they know the the price of Luther Strange is $30 million. They weighed and measured Luther Strange. And at the end of the day, it was $30 million that bought him. He sits there and treats you like a bunch of fools. He says, I'm going to Washington, D.C. to stand up to Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell owns him lock, stock, and barrel. Now people have asked, why Sarah Palin and Phil Robertson and Nigel Farage and Mark Levin and Mark Meadows and Dr. Savage I could go on and on. Laura Ingraham, right? On and on and on of the people that support Judge Moore and not the candidate that Donald Trump is backing.
Makes no sense.
Well, that takes a moment of reflection. Remember, all the people I named are not sunshine patriots. They've been with Donald Trump from the beginning.
Amen.
These are the hardest core backers of Donald Trump with no give up. I'm here as a private citizen today, not as the CEO of the campaign. I haven't worn this jacket since we're on the campaign. I came here unshaven, unkempt, in this old bomber jacket, exactly like I was on the campaign. All the folks that I talked about are the hardest core supporters of Donald Trump, and I apologize to Plutarch and to Shakespeare as I do a riff on them, but we did not come here to defy Donald Trump. We came here to praise and honor him. The opposition party right there, the media, they're nothing but the running dogs of the elites of this world. Just like Judge Moore, they didn't come for Donald Trump to have a discussion about immigration. They didn't come and have a discussion about trade. They didn't have a discussion about America's place in the world. No, they were out to destroy Donald Trump personally. Donald Trump has billions of dollars. He was almost 70 years old. He has a lovely wife, terrific kids, friends that you just can't imagine the friends this guy has. He had the perfect life. And why did Donald Trump, at almost the age of 70, run for president of the United States? I saw him up close. It was not for any glory. It was not for any kind of adulation. Donald Trump ran for president of the United States because of his duty to this country. Donald Trump is one of the most courageous individuals I've ever seen, and I've seen it up close. When they try to destroy him every day, it wasn't a debate about his policies. It was about the politics of personal destruction. And every day in Washington, D.C., it's the same thing. How tough do you think it is to get his agenda? No, we got a cute phrase, drain the swamp, okay? But the enemy we face is not cute. And we're not going to do it with slogans. We're just not going to do it because we wish it away. You're going to have to fight every day to take Washington back, and by taking Washington back, take the control of your own lives back. Every person in this country should get down every night and thank God Donald Trump is president of the United States. You know, I was CEO of the campaign. I came into 88 days to go. We were down 16 points. We were losing in every battleground state, and we won. And you know why? We laid out a populist, nationalist, conservative message.
Yes.
Populist because it's anti-elite. Because those fools in Davos and Washington, D.C. are totally incompetent and corrupt. Nationalist because we're anti-globalists. We believe in America first, and what's good for this country is good for its citizens. And conservative because we totally reject the progressive movement and what it stands for. They talk about hate speech. Let's talk about economic hate crimes that have been done on the working men and women in this country. They've gutted this country. They've gutted manufacturing jobs and shipped them overseas. You know what for? For profit.
Right.
You think this opioid crisis just came about? There's a direct correlation between the factories and jobs that were shipped to China and the workers left behind with total despair.
That's right.
I saw in this campaign, the way we won was we had a candidate that was the greatest public speaker since William Jennings Bryan, Donald J. Trump. And we had a lot of common sense of where we had to go, and audiences like you in Ohio and Iowa and Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. We did something nobody ever thought could be done. A conservative candidate could win the upper Midwest. Well, we won it in over 300 electoral votes. But I will tell you, on the day of November 8th, I knew it was divine providence to help us win. And if you think of something else that's providential, think about tomorrow. This is Jeff Sessions' seat that we're going to fill.
Yes.
Jeff Sessions, the son of Alabama. He's one of the finest men I've ever met.
That's right.
He's pure of heart and tough as boot leather. He is the man with the most integrity in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
He's also a man that Mitch McConnell and all the elites, the permanent political class, despise.
Like that, right?
Because unlike Luther Strange, he can't be bought. There's no price that Jeff Sessions can be bought. I'm proud to call him my mentor. I'm proud to call him my brother. We have worked on this project for many, many years. Jeff Sessions is the spiritual father of this movement. He's the original populist and nationalist in this country, and we owe him a great debt of gratitude. The people in Alabama, I ask you tomorrow to keep that in mind when you walk into the voting booth. Remember whose seat that Judge Moore is going to replace. It's Jeff Sessions, one of the most unique men. Forget politicians, one of the most unique men in our country.
Right.
Another unique man is Judge Roy Moore. Now, Judge Moore is not perfect, okay? Judge Moore does not claim to be perfect. Judge Moore rose to national prominence because he put the 10 Commandments for all to see. And according to these folks, according to the mainstream media, according to the global elites, that's virtually a capital crime.
Yeah.
Now, Judge Moore knows that the 10 Commandments is the basis of the Judeo-Christian West. And Judge Moore understands and knows that according to the Judeo-Christian West, man is imperfect.
Right.
Judge Moore's never claimed anything else. And by the way, we're not always going to agree on every topic and every subject.
No.
Laura Ingraham, Mark Levin, Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, Dr. Savage, Mark Meadows, Jim Jordan, Steve Bannon. We don't all agree on everything, but we agree on the basics.
Right.
Judge Roy Moore is a good man. He's a courageous man. And most importantly, he's a righteous man.
Yes.
Now, Phil Robertson is going to be up here in a second.
Yeah.
He's someone that knows. Phil Robertson knows the good book a lot better than I do. But one thing he does understand is Ecclesiastes. People say, why are we so divided? Why are we not united? Well, there's a time and season for everything under heaven. And sometimes there's a time for peace. And sometimes there's a time for war. We're not going to hug out our differences. We're going to have to fight for our differences. Now, we're going to fight at the ballot box. We're going to fight in opinion pieces. We're going to fight by talking to our neighbors. We're going to fight by the lived experience of our lives to